Ladies and gentlemen, the German you are about to hear is in fact not true German. It is a butcher.
Fuck you!
Of the Germanic language.
No. You opened the door for me.
I did!
I just stepped through it.
You asshole.
So please direct all hate mail to Giselle Noir at bdrrocksonline.com. Thank you, and please, if you don't enjoy the program, don't just humor her.
But no, I grew up studying Spanish, so Spanish and English and other Romance languages, the R comes from the front of the tongue. With German, it comes from the back of the tongue.
A little bit of phlegm.
So, while I can read and write it pretty well and understand verbally fairly decently,
Speak it pretty well. I was just being a dick.
Not so much. No, I guarantee you, if people actually know how to speak German, hear my German, they'll hear when I stumble with the R's. The name Oomph is defined as energy, vitality, and enthusiasm, or sex appeal. And its origin is from 1935 to 1940s. It's an Americanism. And it's an imitative of the sound made during exertion, as in lifting a heavy object. The sex appeal or sexual attractiveness really stemmed from in 1937. It was suggestive of the reaction of someone hit hard in the belly.
See, that's where I was going, where somebody was mule kicked in the crotch.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
how I was looking at it.
Crap's name just doesn't make any sense. I feel like he missed the band meeting where they chose the stage names, and they were just like, you know what, fuck you.
Are they all
We're not
from
being
Maybe he likes playing craps.
Maybe he does.
Maybe he likes taking craps.
Are they
I
all
love
from
taking
Germany?
craps myself.
Dero, spelt with 1 or 2 R's, is actually Australian slang for a derelict person. Dero is also known as detrimental robots in the writings of Richard Sharp Shaver.
Yes.
He basically wrote about extremely advanced prehistoric races who had built cavern cities inside Earth before abandoning Earth for another planet due to the damaging radiation from the sun. The ancients also abandoned some of their own offspring here, a minority of whom remained noble and human Tyros, while most degenerated over time into a population of mentally impaired sadists known as Deros.
It was Britain.
Short for detrimental robots. However, Shaver's robots were not mechanical constructs, but were robot-like due to their savage behavior. It goes on to say that basically the Deros would kidnap surface-dwelling people by the thousands for meter torture. They could be blamed for nearly all misfortunes, from minor accidental injuries or illnesses to airplane crashes and catastrophic natural disasters. Dero is also one of the Nereids in Greek mythology. Nereids were sea nymphs. They were $50 of Nereus and Doris.
I thought you said $50.
That's what I thought.
Daughters.
What?
Two Eddies.
They often
Hey, for $50,
accompany...
that ain't bad.
While there are only 50, their names are...
Rock the boat, don't rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat, you don't tip the boat over. Rock the boat, they can keep it back. Had to cut it short there because you was looking at me all crooked.
For flux, basically means flow. It's a scientific term describing the rate of flow of something through a surface. The flux capacitor is another... the device...
1.21 gigawatts?
Yes. The device in Back to the Future that makes time travel possible. They were founded in 1989, but they didn't release their first single until 1991. What? Oh, because I said release. Is that what this is about?
Look, I do have more massive respect for Dero, though. Because not only is he the vocals, he actually apparently does the drumming.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's a damn good singer, dude. I will say that. You don't find bands out there that actually have singers that can actually sing. Shut up.
Drummers that can actually sing.
Well, not only that, but I'm just saying, like, you hear these bands, right? Studio releases, they sound fine. Not to bash on them, System of a Down. Come on, guys. Really? You sound like crap live. I'm just going to say it. I loved your albums. I listened to Hypnotize and Mesmerize, though. They were good albums when I was, when I was in high school. I listened to that shit, but...
Toxicity? Was that the...
And that was another go. They're a great studio band, but when you hear them live, you're like, huh? And it's just like, dude, why are you... how do you get record deals?
I don't know.
They're not the ones who should be famous. It's the audio engineers that should be famous.
I think it's pretty interesting that you said, Flukes also does, means flow.
Yes.
But he's also responsible for the sampling, which I think is great because it actually goes with his name.
Yep.
So I thought
Flow Master.
I mean, that could have been how he came up with his name. That's one thing that I couldn't find was anything on how they came up with their stage names.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Because apparently only...
Not that it's that important. I mean, I'd rather talk about the music, but I'm just curious, especially with craps, because what the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much.
Can't hold a straight face.
Which is oomph.de for all the kiddies at home.
Indeed.
For Deutschland? What do
I don't want it.
you just
I just made you interrupt yourself.
You did. Because I have tea and honey and lemon because my voice is fucked. This stupid flu.
I'm sorry.
Oh no. I've seen poems where they talk about making love to a voice.
What?
Oh yeah.
I'm terrified.
Oh, fine for you. Actually,
Your
very
words
well
were
written.
so velvety smooth. And I put my dick in it. Come on!
Oh,
I mean, come on, dude.
More poetic than that.
Would you just roll it over
I
the
pierced
keyboard?
your quivering quim of vocal cord goodness.
The only sample that I didn't recognize the sample that they used in Ishbindu, so I'm really curious to know. I couldn't find it,
I was just being a dick.
but I would love to know what
Movie.
what movie that came from, because I just don't recognize it. And I may have seen it in English. It may have been a movie that I have seen.
What's the dialogue? Maybe
See, that's the thing is if I just can't.
can't translate it.
No, I can translate it. I just can't match it up to anything that I've seen. So I'm curious to know if it was a German film, if it was an American film, just in the German dubbed version. What is going on over there?
What do you call? What do you call?
said clip. I thought you said something.
I did not
Hold on,
say
hold
clip.
Hang on.
I
What
said
do you? What is it
clip.
called when you take a small chunk of a movie? What is it called?
Clip.
It's called what?
Or a
Clip.
snippet.
I heard clip.
That's what I heard too. That's what I'm saying.
You two are a bunch of assholes. So I wouldn't be surprised if those influences would come up if I actually was familiar with all of their.
Whether it is epically named as the Pussycats.
They are
I think
not.
that's
Is it safe to say that the
But it's
references
like
reached out and
Einstein know
touched you?
about.
Reached out and touched you? They reached out and touched you?
In a bad way.
Like,
That's naughty.
yeah, that's like Einstein
Don't be
know
that
about. Like, everybody will list him as an influence, but I actually don't know anybody that actually listens to them or actually owns their music. So it's one of those Einstein to know about him.
Bless you.
Wait, say that again?
Einstein to know about him.
Now say it slow.
I just like listening to her say it.
Einstein
Einstürzender.
no.
It sounds like an intersection of taxi cab drivers.
Yes.
Well, it's on the corner of.
What I like about Oomph, too, is their English stuff that gets released. They can sing very well in English. You don't really hear that accent. I mean, like going back to the old Nightwish stuff with their old singer, going way back. She's got a beautiful voice, don't get me wrong, but she had a very heavy accent, and it was a little off-putting at first. But with their newer albums before their original singer, I think her name was Tarja, actually left, she made it more, or she lost a lot of that accent, and it was easier to listen to. But these guys don't have it. They can sing German and English very well. Very, very well. And I mean, when I was watching that live CD, or the live DVD that you had, I mean, unless they went back and redubbed it, which I don't think they did, they can sing very, 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 very well.
Now, where were we when we left off the Oomph story?
The Oomph story.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's the ongoing
It's the
Oomph
story of Oomph.
It's story time.
Story about a band named Oomph.
It's the sound you make when you get punched in the muff.
It also included You Said, which included the primary and Alzheimer's mix. Is
That they forgot to include.
they forgot to include? Yes, they forgot to mix it, and that's why they call it the Alzheimer's mix.
Yeah.
Whoopsies. Their next single was "Sex," which was released in
Yes.
1994.
Great fucking song.
And Alan Kidd has been waiting the whole time for us to get to this single here.
He's wanted to talk about sex all day. Actually, he's been
And
talking
now
about
that we're
sex all
talking about it, he has nothing to say apparently.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to be like him and interrupt it 5 fucking seconds.
Jeff.
The next single, also released in 1994, was the 3+1 single. It included the milk mix for Suck, Taste, Spit. Also,
Delicious.
the second album, released in 1994, is called Sperm. Its cover art is literally 3 sperm with little sharks.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
What?
No, it's not.
For sperm?
Yeah, there's an alternate cover as well.
What are you talking about?
where there's some insidious-looking fluid on a chick's belly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am. I'd like to drop some insidious fluid on your belly. Will that be all right? There we go. Thanks. I've got to go now.
Is that like British foreplay?
Yeah. No, we're British. We can't have that.
But they're a German band.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to talk about your sex?
Not
Your
here.
love for sex? Analog Kid?
I just thought that the song was actually very well done. I like the simplification of exactly what they're talking about. I love the guitar in the chorus line and every version. I thought it was one of the few songs that every mix, live version, every different version that they ever had was just as good, if not better, than the original studio release from the album.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a great song. I played it over and over again. It's one of those songs where you at least need 10-inch speakers in your car with a 750 watt amp. It's one of those songs. I mean, you have to play it loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those epically, obnoxiously loud songs you have to play loud.
Ear abuse.
Yeah, exactly. It was really great, and it was one of those where you don't really have to figure out what he's talking about. I just thought it was great. It got to the point where my 6-year-old started singing along, and I'm like, okay, we gotta stop listening to this while you're in the car.
Oh, no.
Although he does think it says seis, as in
Six.
Spanish for 6.
Yeah.
Well,
So I was
that's
able to play
helpful.
that off for a little bit. But the fucker knows how to read, so I'm like, I really should stop playing this in the car
Yeah.
when he's in there. I actually blew one of my mids in my car listening to it.
Are you serious?
Literally blew it. It now rattles now, and I'm like, damn.
You blew it. You blew it hard.
You blew a bit.
But I like the way that it could go to where
No.
it has that heavy metal feel, but it also has that
hard.
it also has that house music vibe,
Mm-hmm.
where I could see this being played in a rave, for lack of a better. Like
Yeah.
this song should have been played in the club scene at the very beginning of Blade. War was a great song.
Didn't you mention that you thought that should have been the theme song for Darksiders?
Yes.
For the
Yes.
video game Darksiders?
Just listening to the song War by Oomph, that should have been in the background the whole 18 hours I was playing that song, or playing that game.
It was a good game.
And this would have made it better, because, I mean, it's just, I mean, don't get me wrong, I got the soundtrack to Darksiders, and it's epically awesome to listen to. I just thought that, maybe some heavy metal in there. Because, I mean, you think about it, you got one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Where's the metal?
Hopefully they'll do that with Darksiders too.
Yeah.
You play as death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't like Dickhead. I don't like the song. I
So
don't
you're
know
a
why. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with whether or not I like dick in real life.
Is going to a dark place.
You started
In the
it.
dark room.
Oh. But no, I mean, and I was listening to it last night again, and it has all of the elements of the music that I love, but I just, for some reason, it doesn't add up to a song that I like. It's very strange. I don't know. Don't know why, but it's one of those weird things. But, I mean, to balance that, I also can't pick a favorite Oomph song. Like, I know if I was pushed, I could pick a favorite song by Killing Joke. I could pick a favorite song by Iron Maiden. But with Oomph, I can't do that. There's just too many songs that I love from their plethora of discography that I just can't pick
The
one.
cornucopia.
So this is session 2. We're going to do a little backtracking because
You're not looking at me now.
Yeah. Well,
I was a stubborn bitch the last session and decided to record when I had the flu.
You called yourself a bitch.
So, well, I am a stubborn bitch.
Want to talk about it?
Well, there's not much to talk about. I am a stubborn bitch. I decided to record last week or the week before. Is that how it went? Week before last? When I was sick with the flu, and that wasn't a good idea. Then I realized it now, looking back on it.
So is it
So
safe
what
to say
did
the
you learn?
flu was rat-a-tat-tatting your ass?
What did I learn?
You should learn that when I tell you, hey, you sure you want to do this because you're sick? You should pause.
And think about it as opposed to just
Look.
as opposed to not listen
When-
to anything that you ever say.
When
like
when
I
makes a suggestion, you should stop, look, and listen. and then promptly disregard it.
Coming from the same guy whose sister just told me that the bus that she's supposed to be on isn't short enough.
Well, I mean, do we have to get one custom made?
What are you, with retarded midgets?
The problem is you have to have a distance between wheelbases. So I think what we'll have to do is have a longer wheelbase, but the actual seating portion of the bus is going to be shorter. I'll design it.
Hit my ride.
So what do you want us to do to your ride? I want a short bus. I get it back and I'm all upset. Well, we made it to the standard short bus specifications. No, it must be shorter. For the dark side.
No, that is very interesting.
Yeah.
I still don't
You
know
were
what
all
the
like,
other...
oh, if you re-talk about those other 2 albums, I'll be able to interject and, say stuff, because I've actually heard them now, and you're still quiet, you asshole. Love you. One thing that we mentioned last time was Gleichschritt means in step.
Right.
It literally translates to same step, but the context of when you use the word is in... The context of when you use the word is in reference to marching, so it actually means in step. I'm gonna kill you. And
No, he did not.
yes, he did. He just acted like Dr. Zoidberg, and...
Zoidberg. I can't do his voice.
Actually, that was Curly.
Yeah.
3 C's.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but they ripped that.
exactly, yeah.
But I like when he goes like this and he goes. And he clicks his little claws and he walks sideways.
I wish I could do that.
So, yeah. So, unless you guys have any other random comments you want to make on...
Speaking of random.
Random flesh.
I need you to say mine shots in the Schmiegel voice.
Mein Schnapps.
No, not schnapps. Shots.
Mein Schnapps. Wait, what is it? Mine
Shots.
Mine shots.
Mine
Yeah.
shots.
Mein Shots. Mein Shots.
Oppenheimer. Schmecken.
You know, some dude in Germany is sitting there listening to like, what the fuck is he saying?
It's like a Rammstein song.
Yeah. Right in your ass.
Oh.
Sorry, I said glass had a rhyme with ass. Butt
You
sex.
didn't.
We're not
Didn't
talking about that.
I'm going all the way.
Whereas we're about to start talking about sperm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, milking sperm.
I hate guys. But I
First
figure
one's
this,
free.
this is as good as a transition as we're going to get.
Indeed.
So,
Well, on the subject of sperm.
No wonder you Americans are so fat.
Oh, look at you trying to imitate me.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is Austrian.
I'm going to call you Stallone.
Well, Austria was part of the Ottoman Empire. Was
Yes,
also part of Germany.
yes, I fucking know that, but
yeah, but you are trying to diminish my people.
I'm
What are you
small
talking
enough
about?
already in
Your
the
people.
pants.
You know, my people. You know, the people from, wherever I'm from. You don't even know where you're from, do you?
Neither does Stallone.
Of course I do. I'm from over there. I'm not going to tell you because you don't know. And if I tell you, you're told to be like, oh, I already knew where you were. I knew where you're from and your people and everything. Like, you should just shut up right now because you're ruining everything. Come on, man, I'm not that bad. No, you're terrible. Shut up, Stallone! Get back in the kitchen and make me waffles. No!
Right next to Dolph Lundgren.
Grab my waffle iron! Do it now! Right now! And put on that maid outfit, I'll be in a minute.
Sexual.
for those listeners where English is not your first language, release is slang for ejaculation. Well, it's actually, technically, it's just slang for having an orgasm, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, having a release means you just had an orgasm.
Oh, God.
There was a limited edition released. It contained the same track listings. Really? In 2004, the album was re-released. And God damn it! I hate you
Multiple
guys.
orgasms.
I didn't
Hey,
say
guys, come on, let's mature up a little bit.
You didn't tell me that your wife had heard him singing.
My wife had heard him.
You told me that he thought he was saying seis, as in, Spanish for six.
Yes, that's what I told him. Because he asked me. And I noticed that, he's paying attention to the words. Let's take this out. So I came up with this bullshit excuse to tell him. And then he comes to the house and he starts singing the song. I'm like, oh, shit. And before I could get shit out, the wife's like, what is he singing? Well, he thinks he's speaking in Spanish. But he's actually singing in German about fucking. And I got this look. And I said, well, when I realized he started understanding he started understanding the words, but not understanding what he was singing about, I took the CD out.
Did that save your ass?
Kind of. I still got the evil eye the rest of the day.
Anyways, but no, in all seriousness, Ice Coffin actually includes the sample. Really? You're going to now start giggling and snickering over the word sample? Yes, you are, you asshole. And then when we come back, we'll talk
Interruption. Verb.
about...
The art of jumping into a conversation that you are not a part of. Definition 2. Interrupting my sister when she's trying to speak.
Velsungan Blues?
What is it?
No. From Alien.
I would have to see the fifth there.
They're talking over me, so I don't think they can hear my butcher very well. Der Albtraum der Kindheit.
Bless you.
Thank you. My soubrette. We talked about how there's obvious typo-negative influences
massively.
in that song.
Yep.
Especially the dark orchestrated pieces.
Yep. And Bloody Kisses by Typo Negative is listed as one of Dioho's favorite albums.
Yes, but which version?
I don't know.
He needs to be specific because there's 2 versions of that album.
Soubrette is a female stock character in opera and theater. The term arrived in English from the French word meaning conceited or coy.
A woman. I noticed you don't have a comeback.
I don't, because I hate you so much. She is a comedic character who is often displayed as vain, girlish, mischievous, coquettish.
All the resume points of a female.
And gossipy.
Mm-hmm.
She's often a chambermaid or confidant, and she often displays a flirtatious or even sexually aggressive nature.
Bitch. Females.
Shaft.
Every last one.
You disappoint me.
I just you females disappoint me.
But we're not here to entertain you.
What's this we shit? Are you saying they're bitches as well?
It might as well be.
Wow. Y'all gonna sit there and take that? Really?
Why not?
Oh,
I'm busy.
Cowboys stand for that.
Yes, he would. He's British. And he has a muff. We've been through this. But they're obviously very intelligent individuals. Even though one of them is named Crap. Sorry, what the fuck? That's why I hope that they have really good senses of humor if they hear this.
Well, I would think that they do. They've been in the music business. In that industry, you must have a sense of humor.
Yeah, if you take well, granted, but there's still people that take themselves way too seriously.
Metallica.
Lars Ulrich.
Speaking of bitches.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about living in the southeastern United States and whether or not we've developed southern accents.
And I mean, I can put it on if I want to, so can you.
Although it is hysterical to listen to Giselle when she's pissed.
Oh, yeah.
I need some coffee.
I still,
What's in the mouth?
If I come in here and the coffee pot's empty one more time, I'm going to go to your house and punch your dog.
And if you or anyone else you know would like to reach us on Backdoor Radio, you can go to bdrinfo at bdrrocksonline.com.
That's right.
You can also visit our website at www.bdrrocksonline.com.
Oomph are Dioho, Flukes, and...
Crap.
Thank you. Their live support are
Live support?
Their life support.
Live support. As in, when they play a concert, they have Leo on drums and Hagen on bass. Previously, this is something that I did mention in the first recording. You okay there, Chance?
Hagen
Hagen-Dazs.
Dazs.
Their website is www.oomph.de. So the Gokoroichi single was released in 1998. The tracks for the single were the single version, the Naghavi mix, the Jelly and Fish extended mix, and the How Job mix.
Hand job?
I think it's How Job? It's HAUJOBB. I don't really know how to say it. I'm just guessing.
AKU would be how, I believe.
Yeah, and then
if I read my German correctly.
J. There's a J in there.
Oh, sure.
The track listing for that was Mutterschluss. No, Mutterschluss. There's no L.
Pronounce it right.
Shut your mouth. Willst du mein Leben enden?
Wait, say that one more time. I wasn't ready for it.
I couldn't get past Leben. It sounded like something
Willst
else.
du mein Leben enden?
Oh, and
Why I'll never be clean again.
Oh, that was not German.
No, it's not.
Ryan's.
Anniversary.
What the fuck are the English titles?
Foil.
Foil as in like tinfoil? Like mom tinfoil?
As in.
Who let crap decide the names? No! Unacceptable. Unacceptable!
Zero endorphin, and the bridge in Another Disease is like candy. Just in Another Disease where it's got the electro bits and then the voice comes in and then it just kind of pauses and then it just goes right back into the guitars. It's just like candy. Was it off of Munchkin?
I'm sorry, I think Munchkin. Every time. Every time.
I'm sorry. I hate your face. I knew that.
I'm just saying, it's one of those two albums where I heard one song and I'm like, somebody's been listening to Western American hard rock and it sounds so much like this band that most people hate.
Yeah, if you say it sounds like Nickelback, I will smack you in the mouth.
Nippleback.
There was one song that did sound like it, and I'm like,
Fucking wanted to punch you so hard. Well, it's the instrumental track Monolith.
Okay, so now I think Monolithic by Monster Magnet.
Well, you need to stop it
You need to
because
stop
this is just
Monolithic, baby. It was an Alien reference.
yes.
yeah.
Was that the beacon?
Yeah, the motion
Yeah.
detector.
Yeah.
And like as they're walking around, it just goes.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I will admit, when I first saw Aliens, that thing creeped me out.
No,
Like
dude.
Alien or
Just
Aliens?
no, the Aliens, the sequel.
The second
Dude.
one?
With the motion sensor,
Yeah.
just the motion sensor creeped me out.
Dude, playing Alien versus Predator,
Oh,
like the
yeah.
Predator campaign, not so bad. It's like the Alien campaign, whatever. You play as the human, you're fucking shitting
Oh,
your
yeah.
pants because that thing's going up and you go, where is it? Where is it?
You'll walk into a dark room, you literally can't see where you're going, even if
Yeah.
you try to turn around.
You just got this little beam of light like this big on the screen. You're like, oh well,
It's
thanks.
literally
Yeah.
black. You can't see where you're going,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it starts going off, and then it goes off like it's fucking nuts.
Oh my god.
And then all of a sudden the lights come on, and you're surrounded by 100 of them.
It is Analog Kid's least favorite album.
Just didn't like it. I didn't like the vibe. I just did not like the feel of it.
Well, it didn't like you, so
I
suck.
mean, I literally listened to it 6 times in a row just
Wow.
to make sure I wasn't being a
The
dick.
douche.
Hang on, do I still hate this one? Let me try again.
He's a glutton for punishment.
Oh yeah, punish me, Oomph. God, fuck yeah. I've been a naughty boy, haven't I?
Oh.
Spank my eardrums with your terrible album. Oh yeah.
It just,
I'm gonna get sued so
You
hard.
are.
and I'm probably going to be in the minority. I didn't like the duet with Nina Hagen either. I just
I actually like that.
didn't like it. I just didn't like the way it didn't sound right. It didn't sound like it matched.
So the track listing is Das Weiße Licht,
That's my song.
Kennst du mich, Scorn.
They need to stop throwing me curveballs.
Disappointed.
No, dude, you can't just be like, German, German, German. Oh, English. German. No.
Yes, you can.
No.
Yes, you
I
can.
refuse.
You are such a bastard. There's a song about you, actually.
Good.
Well, Bastard is sung in German, so
Yes.
there's got an English title.
Yeah, but
Awesome
you can
song.
say bastard in any country,
can.
and you know exactly what they're saying.
You can, it's
I mean, you could
great
do that.
fucking
Turl,
music.
Turl.
That's a bastard. Oh, what'd you just call me? I am not.
Oh, it's ambiance!
I almost kicked your scrawny looking motherfucking weird ass ass.
Weird ass.
I Come Alive.
Oh my god, I thought you were going to say I come alive. Yeah, eat your cake.
I'm eating my cake.
Eat your cake. Oh, look, you have your cake and you eat it too.
I was kind of smiling. There was an Are you fucking done? Jesus Christ.
No, I had coffee.
You are not allowed to have coffee ever again.
I need to release.
But no, the music videos for this album.
I would actually like to hear Oomph do like an instrumental track, or not an instrumental track, a track like a symphony almost, because I feel like they could pull it off very well because of his voice. And it's one of those things like listening to bands like Iron Maiden or Blind Guardian, and even Oomph, the singer is another instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel especially with his talent of being able to sing like that, he would be able to match or play with the symphony very well. And I think it would be awesome to hear, with the drum beat.
You're just all about that drum beat.
Hey, it works.
But then Phoeba is just... Nina Hagen is adorable. I'm sorry, I've said it 8 times. She is awesome.
I'm more awesome.
No, you are not. You are not more awesome than Nina Hagen.
You know what, dude? Nina Hagen can touch me. Like, not in the sexual way. She can just be like, oh! And then she'll be like, oh my goodness. You are so much more awesome than I am. That's how she talks to me.
Really?
We're gonna get
Did
sued.
you just sing that to the Thriller?
Nina Hagen.
Oh. The Haagen-Dazs. Oh yeah, Nina Haagen-Dazs.
Yes.
Nina Hagen.
She is made of ice cream. I can't stop now.
I noticed.
I'm trying. You have no idea the internal battle that's going on in my head right now.
You really don't understand the internal battle of me not punching you in the face right now.
In the muff.
Punch me in the mouth.
Gonna punch a British man in the mouth. Gonna punch a British man in the mouth.
I bet Fred wants to touch his mouth.
Yeah. I don't even know what one is, and I'd like to touch it.
You want to see? This is the time of Captain Jack Sparrow. Interrupted Giselle. Just trying to read.
I hate you. Drop the Lie.
That's a good song.
Bitter.
The beginning of that song is fucking dirty too.
What, Drop the Lie? Yeah.
And it's just dirty. You remember?
Dopamine was pretty cool.
You remember what we were doing
I
with
did,
the?
yeah, Dopamine and Serotonin are the instrumental tracks.
Please, just interrupt me. That's cool.
I just interrupted you, you motherfucker.
I was giggling at his fever comment.
Which one? There was
The one you just ignored.
Don't fear the fever.
Oh.
Come on.
I really did ignore the whole. I didn't hear any of that.
Don't fear the interruption. What? Who said that? Shut up, bird. Yeah. Fuck off.
I think Guido's have evolved at least a little bit.
Yeah, now they're green and they go with space bars. Oh, that's Guido.
Oh, bad Star Wars.
Tu wanna tu solo?
The Supernova live video would also include a video with footage from the 2001 tour for Swallow, as well as
The Swallow
photo
Tour!
gallery.
You're gonna get it all.
It's a mouthful.
Don't spit it out. You'll pay for the whole mouthful, but you'll only swallow.
You can't even say, can you?
You'll pay for the whole mouthful, but you'll only swallow the edge. I don't really know how that fits in, but use your imagination.
Okay.
In a world of mouthfuls, one man refuses to swallow.
The only English track on this album is
Say it. Say it.
Going Down.
Yes, sir.
It's actually a hidden track.
I love Oomph now.
The last track, English, is
I just
actually
oomphed in my pants.
So the limited edition,
Touch your wiener post.
And what was you asking me to look at?
how to pronounce the name of the band that they did the duet with for Bonanza, because it's in French and I don't speak French.
Are you sure you don't speak French?
We're not talking about dick sucking, we're talking about the actual
Mangez-moi, s'il vous plaît. French, The Immortal Soul is an Austrian band.
Yes. And she is adorable.
You'll pull some pictures.
That's because she's got the nice red hair.
She's adorable.
Let me see that.
I will say this, it doesn't help to break out in the States if your record company cock blocks almost all of your videos.
That's unacceptable.
But no, for some odd reason, Oomph's record company, which is currently, I believe, Sony BMG, blocks most, if not all, of their actual videos. And it's the most annoying fucking thing on the internet. When you go to play the fucking video, I hate this video is not available in your country bullshit. But with a lot of Oomph's videos, it says that this video is not available in your country because it's owned by Sony BMG or some crap like that.
You know what, dude? That's
so
just,
you actually have to look for something that I always like to refer people to the official like YouTube accounts or whatever, but with the band you have to go to something else.
Now you see,
Well, I'm sure it's cock blocked in Canada too.
no one cares about them.
Little brother, do you mind hitting stop on the recording for me?
Oh my god, what would you fucking wankers do with
Well,
that?
Ben is too old.
He's got them bad
An
knees.
analog kid is too distracted.
And I mentioned that there was a bit of controversy when the record came out. It was not so much controversy in the sense that you typically think of controversy. I happened to come across an American review. It was a review on an American website. And they actually they had heard the album and then accused the band of selling out. And I kind of didn't really know what to think of that. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. The low guttural tones that was in the earlier music was not present in the songs from that album. You also have the fact that it was very popular. I mean, Algonaut, like I mentioned, reached #1 in Germany and Austria, and then the album itself made it to #2. And then there's also...
So she said #2, no one's going to pick up on that? Really? Man, you guys are a bunch of dicks.
That doesn't have anything to do with number 2.
I love that you just got angry because nobody laughed at your joke.
You're not funny! Try harder.
There's a bird.
You ain't sexy.
There goes a big
Try harder. Yeah.
I have to try.
Fucking bird. Get off my porch. Get off my goddamn porch.
But the other counterpoint that I wanted to make is, as much as I hate to admit it, there's a lot of American fans for German bands that really don't want to see them succeed.
Oh.
And you'll see it with I mean...
Because it's seen as selling
right,
out.
and because it's underground here and it's not very well known. The same people that are, fans of all different genres and all different American bands and things like that, I mean, hipster chavs being all like, oh, it's too mainstream, man, I can't stand it. So, I mean, I don't know if the person that had done this review was one of those people where they just didn't want to see a band succeed or things like that. I think it's just such a douchebag thing to do. I mean, if you like the music, you like the music. Whether or not they succeed, I mean, it's really up to the musicians themselves as to whether or not they actually get affected by the record company or, those kinds of decisions. Because I think maybe that's where that anxiety comes from with the band succeeding, is the more success you have, the more you open yourself up to being manipulated.
Sucked into other record companies.
Well, just the ridiculousness that is, the media. No, it's the media. It's the fucking record company saying, I want you to wear this suit and play this song and play it this way. And when you become more popular and more
eating
successful,
this sandwich.
Exactly. You open yourself up to that sort of manipulation, that sort of corruption.
Yeah.
But whether or not that's where that anxiety stems from, you shouldn't ever say that the whole point of becoming a musician is to put your art out there.
Right.
And to say to somebody else, I don't want your art to be successful, is just kind of a douchebag thing to say. Whether, wherever your anxiety is coming from in regards to it. There's controversy about whether or not they sold out, and, a lot of it was stemming from the fact that they got rid of the guttural tones, those low kind of, bassy, and musically in it. And this is my main counterpoint. I may mention before how they always make it a point to push themselves on every record that they make.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a friend named Dr. Weiss. He's about the same age as the guys from the band. And he's been making music for about just as long, if not longer, I don't know. So I asked him. I asked my friend Dr. Weiss. I was like, with how long they've been making music, the fact that they push themselves on their records, that kind of thing. Is it logical that they had just explored those low guttural tones so much that they decided to explore an avenue of music without it?
Right.
And his response was, of course, yes. It is a logical progression to be made.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not... So, that's that was pretty much the thought that I had anyways regarding the record. And to hear him, so I just wanted to confirm with Dr. Weiss if it was, a logical...
Even the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, Bad Company, always expanded past their original sound. Mm-hmm. But, even Pink Floyd, you listen to the first 4 Pink Floyd albums, they're an acquired taste. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge fan, but I'm listening to their albums going, I'm not into the psychedelicness of it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until metal came out, which was 1970, right. And the song One of These Days came out, and you listen to the first 4 recordings, and then you listen to One of These Days, which is this big, huge, long bass solo. Mm-hmm. It's just, you would think, wow, Pink Floyd could be heavy metal. And it was just a complete 180-degree turn from what they were usually doing. So I think it's great that any band would sit there and say, you know what, we've done that for 10 years. Let's try something different. Yeah. Well, so all those naysayers, like it's underground, fuck you, man. It's the natural progression of a life of a band. Is that if you're going to be around longer... What was it? Was it the Allman Brothers band that says never trust a band under 30?
Yeah.
That was actually on a t-shirt from
What is that?
The Allman Brothers band had a t-shirt logo that said never trust a band under 30.
But, well, of course, now they have to say that because they're, 60? But,
we double what we said, bitch.
But no, I mean, love the other tracks from Wahrheit oder Pflicht more or less from the older stuff. I mean, to sit there and just claim, oh, they sold out it's just not a fair thing to say. I mean, especially when you take into consideration all the points that I've mentioned, the change in record companies, the change in the sound that just kind of progressed more than likely. I mean, the thing is we're not going to know whether or not they actually sold out unless we actually ask them. But my guess...
Hint, hint.
My guess
you can contact us at bdrinfo@bdrrocksonline.com.
It's just my personal guess would be...
No,
they didn't.
That would be
it was just, the music progressed that way. They happened to get with a record company that really wanted to market their music. And it happened to result in a very successful single and album.
After the first 2 Zeppelin albums, they came out with a third one, which was all folky as opposed to all loud and bluesy, British bluesy stuff. And the people went, A, you sold out, or B, what the fuck was that? But they just made those musical terms because they wanted to.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what those guys did.
To me, that's just a more logical explanation than, oh, they sold out. For me personally.
Well, there are bands that sound like they sold out, and I know one in particular, but... Yeah, but no.
Many times.
But the thing is now, you go see them, and that's a whole other thing, and I could go see them only once on a tour, thank you, because they sound the same all the way through, but that's a whole other thing.
Whatever, dude, it's so fun.
Yeah, but they were still, I saw them 5 times, and they were a blast.
Tons of fun.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure, and just what little I've seen of Oomph actually live instead of just on the video, I kind of like what I see.
Yeah, they're very energetic.
Yeah.
They do a lot of
and entertaining as well.
Yeah. Well, he knows how to engage the crowd.
Yes.
But they're also, again, they're one of those bands where you can hear them live, and you're like, oh my god, he actually can sing?
Yeah.
They
actually can play. I mean...
They're a good studio band, and they're a good live band.
They're not Milli Vanilli.
To me, if you're going to be a famous band, or a band that is signed by a record company, you should be able to play and sing. Now, I understand there should be, the studio versions, you can do a couple different things, you can harmonize with yourself and that kind of stuff, but for the most part, it needs to be you, not an audio engineer.
Thank you.
That's why when you see shit like Justin Bieber and stuff like that, where they actually win awards for the music and stuff, it's not them that's winning the award, it's the audio engineer that sat there and fixed their fucking voice.
Indeed. At least I'm making an effort. Will you stop dry humping my laptop?
No. They need to feel me. All of
Ridiculous.
them. In radio listening land. Feel my pelvic thrust. In and out. In and out.
I just went all up in their ear holes.
So, 2006, there was a Best of the Version years that was released. There was a standard edition, as well as an enhanced edition that included a CD and a DVD with some music videos. Now, and this is the part where you're going to want to shut up the interruptions, because this is an example of a douchebag record label move.
Oh, good.
So, even though it was an official release from their previous record label. It was done without the band's approval. Virgin Records released it after Oomph's departure from the label.
Now, how can they call themselves Virgin Records when they're clearly raping people?
But the
It's
record
upsetting.
company still had the rights to the songs. And apparently on their website, Oomph actually recommended that their fans do not purchase the compilation because it was made without their approval.
Damn.
After they'd already left the label.
They'd be stuffing their thumbs in that label's butt.
Well, it's like Mushroom. Yes, I said Mushroom Records. Stiff
Mushroom
Heart the same
Records.
way. They Hart left Mushroom Records, and then Mushroom Records put out this album that they hadn't even finished, and they just put it out like that. So yeah, record companies are douchebags.
They've switched a record company again since then. So that's why I haven't really been talking about the record companies that they've been on, is because they've been through so many. At least to me, it seems like that because I can't keep
I
up.
really felt like there was an interruption there that I just missed. Like,
Yeah, you did.
I
I prepared
hurts.
for it.
Like, it hurts.
I prepared for it.
Internally,
I'm
she was saying, "Wait for it."
I feel incomplete right now.
A wild tension.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a pause.
Take a
Okay.
pause.
We're going to take a pause and then we're going to come back and then we're going to talk some more about Oomph, okay?
I like the sound.
Remember, www.bdrrocksonline.com.
So I really like the fragment song, not just because it was instrumental, but I love that it kind of, listening to it, it kind of gives you like a horror sci-fi feel, and that's one of my favorite movie genres. It just seems like something that would go on one of those soundtracks. I'm waiting for you to jump in because I know you love horror sci-fi, but you're putting
No, he
cheese
doesn't.
in your mouth. So obviously you're not going to pay attention. So moving on.
He wasn't putting meat in his mouth.
Not yet. He's got meat in his hand. Look at it.
No, he's putting the cheese on the meat and putting it in his mouth.
Oh, snacks.
He likes meat.
So, the Weißt du wie viel Sterne stehen song. Say that 5 times fast. I feel like it was a very Western style song. Nobody else agreed with me when I played it earlier, but I'm going to just say for myself, I agree with myself, and that it has a very Western style to it in my humble opinion.
That's hot.
Like I said before, you can actually hear a lot of American and English influences in the music.
Yes.
I actually hear more.
I mean, you can hear any and all influences, especially German bands and English bands and American bands. But this song in particular, the first time I heard it, I didn't know who I was listening to, because the music and the intro was just very westernized in my opinion. I mean, I feel like I feel like they kind of. I mean, I feel like each type of music really borrows from each other, so it's kind of hard to say exactly where it stemmed from originally. But the setup reminded me of the American rock that I used to listen to when I was a teenager. So that's why I felt like it was westernized in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a song that I was considered for the record or the album, but something about they didn't feel like it fit the rest of the song, so it basically got axed. And then they released it on a single, because we talked before about how it's hard to get singles, especially in the States, because there's like a time window, and then it becomes extremely expensive. So yes, importing singles is not cheap. So when they release songs on special editions of imported singles, and it's only on the single, it's very difficult to get. But I have to agree after hearing
It's actually
the
not
song,
difficult to get for me. Like, if I wanted, I could get it.
well, then you're going to be buying all my singles now. How do you like them albums?
Actually, what I meant to say was I can't get them for anybody else but me.
Yeah, no. Changes. So,
Me and Theo are good friends.
who are you now?
Yeah, crap, I fell out though.
But no, I have to agree, after hearing the song and hearing the album, I have to agree that it doesn't fit with the whole of the album, but it's still a really good song. So I'm glad they still released it. Sucks that it was on an import single, it was special edition, but, at least they got
I'm
it
actually
out
more
there,
glad that they released it.
as opposed to...
I can understand your frustration with that. In America,
America!
Fuck yeah.
there's a 4 single for Megadeth's Foreclosure of a Dream,
Uh-huh.
and the Holland import was a 5-track that initially, at the time it was released, had Nine Inch Nails' Gristle remix of Symphony of Destruction, and you could only get it as an import. And the only store that I was able to find it at the time, which was in the late 90s, was at Best Buy. And I had to pay $10 for it. The CD was stolen,
Interesting.
and 10 years later, I got it as a Christmas gift,
Uh-huh.
$40.
Wow. So in a decade, it went up at least $30.
Because it was an out of print out of country import.
Yep. And I feel like I should mention with the I'm pop star. I don't know all of the details surrounding the situation, but I think it was like a TV performance where they were promoting the single. They ended up being censored because they were saying God is a pop star, which you know how I've already talked before how I don't like people being censored, especially in regards to art.
But we have to be PC for the children.
Fuck them!
Like I said when we had stopped recording, whatever happened to, this is for adults, this is not for children.
Right.
You'll listen to it when you're older. Those kind.
That's a parental
why is
thing.
everything for children nowadays?
And why should people be allowed to yank something off the marketplace when it's their fucking job as parents to keep their kids away from adult?
They don't want to parent.
Ugh. Speaking of politically correct assholes.
In this case, it was specifically from my understanding, it was specifically because they thought that saying God is a pop star would be misinterpreted and be offensive to people of certain religious faiths. Which,
Fuck them.
I'm sorry, but he's right. You are marketing God as a pop star. Look at Italy, look at in the States. I mean, it's just the way that it's marketed. God, Jesus, Mary, the saints.
Exactly.
All of them are commodities, candles, jewelry, clothing.
And is Jesus getting any of that money?
Toast.
Even back in the old days. Back in the old days, you can buy what the hell?
Relics.
No.
Yes.
Basically, you donate money to the church and tithes.
Oh, you mean
tithes,
you can buy certain pieces of whatever?
No. Like you give money to the church and they absolve you of sin.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know.
Tithes.
I was talking about the relics for like certain saints or certain popes.
Yeah.
They would even fabricate them in order to get money, so you could buy a relic and it was considered holy, whatever.
Yeah, all they do is
collections.
Well, Johnny, I'm going to bless you. Here you go.
I love how they decided to let's censor this band because of the song.
Yeah.
But nobody made a hoot of noise for Nine Inch Nails' heresy. The line is, God is dead.
And no one cares.
No one cares. If there is a hell,
I'll see you there.
Nobody made it. Nobody said shit.
Yeah.
So
I think this might have been around the time of the Muhammad caricatures.
I couldn't even remember.
So I think that's why this was specifically considered possibly more offensive, because everybody was being very
that makes sense.
Very cautious about
on the subject of
Roman Catholics in that country.
Right, but on the subject of that.
Yes.
No, I was just going to say...
Don't interrupt his interruption.
No, I was just going to say...
interruption code.
I'm all for people saying, excuse me, religion has its place, but it isn't a sacrosanct thing. If I want to discuss what I don't like about it, I will fucking do so. And if Oomph was doing that or any other band does that, I applaud them because people take that shit way too fucking seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like they were. When you compare it to Genoa Gok, which is one of their first singles, it is.
What's that?
It is not offensive, as offensive as that song. The Genoa Gok, he's saying, "God is dead. I am new God." This one, he's just saying, "God is a pop star," and Mass is one of my dreams.
And the show starts now.
Exactly.
All you got to do is
it does have the Our Father that is intermixed within it, so that could be maybe why they thought it. But I'm just like, compared to what they first fucking released, are you kidding me? Like,
well, I mean, dude, I think we have more important issues to worry about than that. Like, for instance, the lead singer of Green Day not pulling up his pants.
Bringing it back to last.
And I mean, I think if parents want something to bitch about, it shouldn't be the sweaty balls. It should be the fucking icon that their kids are listening to, the lead singer of Green Day not pulling up his pants.
What about Kesha?
Oh, she's good to hell.
Is she hot?
No, she's a dumb bitch. Her fucking vagina's gotta be like an airplane hanger. Like, I guarantee you can park a car in there.
Sue Nameless.
It doesn't even have to be a smart car.
Oh, that's right. They'll sue the corporation anyway. We don't have any money.
But, I mean, it's just stupid. It's like, dude, there's more important things to worry about, like the economic status of our country.
Thank you. Exactly.
This was 2006, so
Yeah.
I mean it's 5 years.
Well, it's
ago,
also it
but
was also post 9/11. You know,
Well,
we have to be. You
it's
know,
also
we
in
have,
Germany. We don't give them any airplay here because they're German.
yeah. Which, by the way, thank you for introducing me to these people because
I have
really good. Because I really like.
You
that.
guys will teach me about American and British bands, and I will teach you
Yeah.
about German bands, and we will,
You know, I was about to say,
understand it.
I was about to say British fans, ew, and I was like, oh wait a minute, Iron Man.
And then there's the.
Oh, and don't forget about Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, Led Zeppelin and the Beatles and the Who and
What was his name again?
and the Pinkest of Floyd.
No. What was the manager's name again?
Oh, band manager?
Yeah.
Peter Grant.
Fuck you, Peter Grant.
Wow.
Seriously.
Fake American. Fuck
Oh.
Just fuck off.
Well, he's dead,
Think
so
of
you don't
it.
have to worry about
I
it.
want to sue.
No,
I want to
I'm
sue
gonna
Peter
make roll
Grant
over
because
his
I
grave,
believe he
seriously.
touched me in the wrong kind of way.
I will not get over the fact that he doesn't want people pronouncing it
Led Zeppelin. But he wants to spell it as the past tense of the verb he doesn't want people to say.
Every time I
fucking
think
ridiculous. I'm sorry.
I've heard you say that twice, and both times when I hear you say it, it cracks me up because the funniest fucking shit is true.
So there was standard edition. The track listing was it's out of Top Star. Das letzte. Oh shit! I don't know how to say this word.
How do you spell it?
You can use your who do you want to say?
Streichholz?
You can use
There's
your-
two H's in a row. Okay.
There's what?
There's
Use
two
that-
H's in a row.
Use that
Let me
whatchamacallit.
see. Okay. All right. Give me.
Giselle is now going to translate, or what do you call it?
Intermission!
Yeah. Give me something to.
Your call is important to us. Please stay on the line, and you will be greeted by the next available representative.
Leo
Your
Dictionary
call
is
will
my
be
Wait
answered.
time is 4 hours and 20 minutes.
Your call will be answered in the order it was received.
Oh wait, I got
And then you'll be spoken to by somebody in Coimbatore, India,
Okay, shut
who
up.
can't speak English.
Okay, it's this word.
Des Streichholz.
Yeah, fuck that.
Tanzen den Tod.
Tanzen den Tod.
Ich will deine Seele.
Is that
Haha, I said it
translated?
right this time.
Do it again.
No, I did it once.
Did you just split me off with both fingers and say suck a dick?
I did. I told you the second thing.
Alright.
The new Giselle Noir is here to stay.
Zoofield.
Buy your action figures now at www.bdrinfo.com.
That's right, you
Zoofield Liebe
cunts.
kann dich töten. But it came without the special enhanced part.
I see.
And it was sold in a jewel case without a booklet. Now, this is the second time that this specific record company went ahead and released a cheaper version of the album. The same music. The same music is the same, but they released it in a without the booklet. Now we've talked about before. I mean, it was a cheaper purchase, but
Yeah.
without a booklet. Now we've talked about before about how booklets are just shit. Now I will admit that Oomph's booklets are definitely do not fall under that category, but we see with the majority of bands where it's just like, why
Can't
did you
fucking read
even
it.
bother? Why do you even bother?
Well,
So this
does the
brings up-
booklet really add X amount of dollars to the price? Like, really?
It doesn't. But we won't get into that part. But so this does pose an interesting question. Would it be intelligent for more bands to offer a choice such as this, where you can buy the album, you can get all that music for a cheaper price, but without a booklet?
I think more bands need to just do what Radiohead did, where they put up their music on their website. You
Dope
download
Stars
it.
Inc. did that, by the way.
Yeah.
For their album that was released in
You
May.
download it and then you donate
Download
to them
it
what you
on
feel like it was worth, and they were still averaging like 16 or 18 euros, which is about $10 in the US, something like that. So it was like, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're still making what you should be making, and you know what? Bands should do that because guess what, dude? I guarantee there's a lot of bands out there that won't make any money because they suck.
Yep.
But then again, there's probably a lot of bands out there that would make, bands in air quotes, like Kesha, that would probably just make a shitload more money than they should.
I ain't naming any names.
Well,
But I am going to throw you under a bus.
so why?
Oh, fuck her, dude.
Why-
That'd be the greatest thing ever if they would just news, like headlining the news. Kesha was thrown under a bus today. I'd have a fucking 30-foot long erection, like just poking through the ceiling.
But
It'd be great.
You three of the download generation, why, when you're downloading shit for free, would you want to pay them for anything when you can download their shit for free?
Well, that's the point. If it's good and you like it, you pay for it.
okay, so I'm old school, and I had to go into a record store, and most of those don't exist anymore, and plunk $4 back in the 70s down on a record.
Seriously?
Where your coins carved in little
Yeah.
rocks?
Yeah, literally.
He had to use his teeth.
Yeah, like
why
that's why I don't have any anymore. But
I thought you gave them to George Washington.
yeah, well I met
Well, they
George.
traded.
That's Fred. That's not George.
Yeah, it's Fred on the dollar bill. But yeah, so I was just curious because all I hear is, why do I want to pay for that? And, when I was buying stuff like that, I couldn't say, well, I'm not going to pay for that.
Yeah.
I had to go in and buy it to find out if it was
But
shipped.
nowadays,
Here's my thing.
there's a lot more.
Interrupt.
Yes. No. But back then, you had better music. Like, you still had, your fair share of,
Yeah,
well,
there's
this
your
isn't
fair share of
good.
shit.
But you have, nowadays, you have a lot more stuff.
Doom.
Which leads me to my next topic on the next show.
But that's true. And
Yeah, but now there's a lot more music that's coming out, and a lot more movies, and a lot more games that are coming out that are just crap, and the
It's
price
hollow.
is just skyrocketed
Yes.
because of piracy. Bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Here's my thing. If you really don't want to buy the records, buy the albums, support the band in that way because of you feel like it's really supporting the record company, or you just don't want to drop that money on something like that you don't know if you like. Here's my thing. If you like it, we're not saying go out and buy something that you already have, but at least try and support the band in another way. Buy their merchandise, buy a t-shirt, buy a ticket to a show. Support them in some way. If you're not going to go out and actually purchase their albums or their records or their singles, do something.
Well, the other thing too is going back to the whole why. If they had this on their website, why would I pay for it if I can download it for free? If people really wanted to, and it doesn't take a whole hell of a lot of research, you can find ways to download songs for free anyway.
Yes.
You're just taking out you're just taking out the research, and you're actually giving an option to pay back the band right there, all in one spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're also in some way limiting crappy versions of your song, because there are some times where you will download something, or have downloaded or whatever, or you get it from a friend that's downloaded it, and the production quality or the quality of the MP3 itself is just so shitty that it just sounds awful.
Yeah.
So you're really, and by limiting that, you also in a way limit people being like, oh, your music sucks because it just sounds like shit. You don't know what you're doing. And for those people that work very hard in the production studio to mix, to master, and all that good stuff, it's really a spit in their face because they're like, fuck you, I spent how many hours, how many weeks, how many days, how many months,
And
you're
then
making
you're
this
gonna
sound
make
like
my work
awesome,
sound
and
like
now you
this.
make it sound like shit because you just won't, get a legal copy, or you won't rip it in a way where it's a high quality. So with that, where you download it directly from the artist from the website, you give them an option of here's the quality that we want you to hear.
Yes. And now when going back to the old fart shit, there were record stores in Europe and in Iceland in particular that you go in and say if back then it was Sabbath or Floyd or whoever, or whatever the band was, and you wanted it, you go to the counter and say, hey, can I hear a couple of tracks on this? And you should say, sure. And like, for instance, what is it, Barnes & Noble, you can listen?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know it's very rare.
I know that the fucking 30-second previews of any song that you hear is terrible. I've heard some 30-second previews. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not paying for this. And I actually get a chance to listen to the full song. I'm like, dude, this is a good song.
I had the exact opposite. I was looking at new music, and there were songs, I don't remember the specific bands, but there were songs where for most of the song it sounded great, and then it hit the bridge, which you wouldn't hear in a 30-second clip because they usually just do the beginning to whatever 30 seconds it reaches. So sometimes you only hear the chorus. But I hit the bridge of the song, and I was like, oh my god, this turned bad very fast, and now I don't like this whole song.
There was actually the song 10,000 Strong by Ice Earth, and I was listening to the 30-second preview, and like the very, very beginning of it, like from what they were playing on that preview, I'm like, wow, this isn't really that awesome. Like, it's pretty good, but it's not great. What's going on? And then it hit the chorus, and I was like, huh? But it ended halfway through the chorus. I'm like, no. But I bought me that album. It was a good album. And they actually have another one coming out soon.
Woo! I'm surprised Analog Kid hasn't jumped in here yet. I'll jump in for Analog Kid. Analog Kid thought that the Lord's Prayer in the English version of God is a Pop Star was very interesting.
Yes.
And I have to agree, because it was definitely a more modern English translation of the
It was also
of the prayer.
from what the
And-
traditional
Yes.
prayer is.
It was edited, and it was a modern English translation. Those of you who don't know, the actual Lord's Prayer is really a mix of modern as well as Old English. So you have the squeaky chair that is fucking distracting as hell. That's ridiculous.
Oh, that's because you're stupid.
But getting back to the video for Die Schlinge, there was it would be my favorite video, but there's one part in the storyline that it lost me. So it's a video that takes place essentially in what we would call the Wild Wild West, or the Old West, or the gunslinging days that everybody seems to love so much about American culture. And
It's the romanticizing of it.
Right.
yeah, the outlaw, the good outlaw, bad outlaw, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the premise is they're about to be
Robin
hanged.
Hoodish.
So they're about to be hanged.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get busted out of jail by this chick who leads them to a Native American reservation.
Mm-hmm.
And
They will hang. Which is
While
funny because
they
at this
are-
point in time, the white man was pushing them out of their land.
yes,
Yeah.
but in their escape, DLL ends up getting shot. So then there's this whole taking to the medicine man. And he has medicine, and he has this weird trip scene, and then
Yo, he trips massive
he
balls.
does.
It's called peyote.
Yeah,
Oh,
but he's healed. So I was like, oh. But
All magically.
the part where you lost me
Unicorns.
was in the bridge. The white woman that helped bust them out of jail and bring them to the Native American reservation starts dancing.
She also pops a tit.
She totally her tit pops out and is like,
Yeah!
It's only there for a split second. You got to be careful, but you'll
but
see
you
it.
can see. So for me, I'm looking at it. As soon as she started dancing, I was like, that's not Native American dancing. Because what little I studied of Native American dancing was... Now, in addition to this epic version, there was also a 2-track edition released.
Oh yeah, you ain't joking. It did pop out.
I was wondering why you were so quiet. I thought I scared you with my overanalyzation.
Oh, yeah.
You
Pop,
just
and it
wanted to
actually
see
popped
titties.
right back in.
Yeah.
I know.
I was like, no! Come back!
Leave out your nipple,
You need
please.
to say that further. Well, you need to say that.
Oh, yeah, we should
I know
probably
what
say it. Let's
tits
go
look
freeze
like.
frame.
Freeze frame.
Enhance. Enhance. Yes.
Nipples, I love them, oh yeah.
Like a full frontal.
Full frontal.
So there's a 2-track version that was released in 2006 in The Power of Love. Now, I understand why.
Sorry, it was a little quiet. There was an interruption that didn't happen before, so
Where
I
were you?
Remix hits
What?
of various.
Nothing?
Sorry, Frank. Would you like to shut up the rest of the class?
No.
She said mixing something. See, you could have just done without that.
You're just being ridiculous now.
Yeah. So,
What?
I was trying to spare you, but you wouldn't.
Stop whispering. Yeah, it's not. And I actually, I listened to the original. It's very interesting. It's
Actually, I
totally
listened to the
different,
original.
like music-wise. Like I think, if I remember correctly, or maybe it was just the version that I heard, it was primarily just like piano and this guy singing. There was some other music as well, but it was very minimalist in the music. And the music that they had done with their version, it was the typical elaborate, precise.
Let's go!
Now, I personally didn't like the video.
Interruption.
I didn't see a video
Interruption.
for the Frankie Goes to Hollywood version other than live performances. I don't remember, was it
It was
released
never
as
an
a single?
official video.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Now to the back.
So, oh my
They're going to think you're getting some action if I keep
God. No, they're not. They know better than to think that.
Oh.
Oh, who does she have underneath?
I'm a sad bad guy.
But no, so we will pause and
Which is
then
coming.
come back and
Yes.
finish up with the last single from God Will Leave a Toad and then go into the stuff from Monster as well as the
You can
Salmon
try.
single
I'm gonna interrupt the shit out of you.
there. Like that would be any fucking different from any
Oh no,
other
it's gonna be.
fucking recording.
It's going to
fucking
be
done.
fantastic. It'll be interruptions of epic proportions.
Oh man.
Yes. Oomph!
Yeah.
We are oomphing very quickly.
I want to oomph in your mouth.
Yes. We are going to be oomphing very, very, very badly. And naughty oomphing.
No.
Yes, we're naughty. We're
So,
going to need the spanky hunky as well.
Jesus. I've forgotten about Snake.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling Backdoor Radio Tech Support.
As typical with this record company specifically, Standard Edition and then Premium Edition. Standard Edition has Trauma Stew and then the bounce remix of the song. And then
Trauma
the Premium...
Stew?
Huh?
Trauma stew?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Trauma stew. It's
Yes.
the stew they feed you after you have a traumatic experience.
Here, you feel very bad. You've been hit by a car. Have some stew.
Have some trauma stew.
Order your pint of trauma stew from
bdrinfo.com.
Order more than 5 batches and we throw in a free spanky hanky.
Yeah. And a sippy cup.
And a sippy cup. So you can take your trauma stew anywhere.
That's right.
Just slurp it.
So you can take your trauma stew on the run.
There's a lot of time. Oh, before I forget, before we move on.
Moving on.
This song. You really have to do this
By
right
the
now.
way,
Sorry, but I was breaking ice. I can't video the sound of me smashing my ice.
You don't say. I'm surprised that I thought for sure you could have heard me.
What, interrupted?
Interruption?
That was an ice eruption.
So no, but before we move on, this song actually won the Windows Vision Song Contest in 2007. Now, I'm not from Europe. I'm not familiar with this Windows Vision Song Contest thing. From my understanding, it's like a yearly thing that takes place where different songs are submitted, and then they vote on which song the fans actually vote on which song they like the best, and then whoever gets the most votes gets the award. So,
How democratic?
Huh?
I said, how democratic?
So
Nobody pays anybody to do it.
exactly, you go and you vote, and that's that. And then I think there's a concert for who wins, and I'm not quite sure how it all works. But the point is this song actually won that award. So the next single is Wach auf.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
It means wake up.
No, it means fuck off. I don't know where you studied German from.
Fucking often. No, that would be fucking often. Sorry.
Which, by the way, we've talked a lot about.
Ass cheeks on my white tee.
Yes, actually we have. But no, we've talked about, because Nameless couldn't make it to several of our shows,
Walt
we
Disney?
decided to, yes, Walt Disney. Then we decided we had this thing where we talked about like great love songs in rock, great making love songs, great I want it now, I want it fast, I want to hear love songs, or sex songs, whatever. We talked all these different songs. We did. We started with Killer D, when Nameless was actually present, and then we delved into it a little bit deeper when we didn't have Nameless. And I believe that was the same episode where we ended talking a lot about Peter Steele's cock.
Peter Steele's cock.
My fuck you's like a rocket ship.
Yes, exactly.
But no, Beim ersten Mal Tits immer weh is a...
Say that again?
Tits
I
immer weh?
don't think I can. I don't even think I'm saying it right.
Well, you
I
said
heard
tits
tits.
in there somewhere. That's all.
No, it's toots.
When you say tits, I'm gone.
No,
My attention span is zero.
Beim ersten Mal Tits immer weh.
Oh, toots. Hey, toots. You got a beard? Come on.
It's T-U-T apostrophe S. So I think that's how you say it. I don't really
King
know.
Tuts.
Tuts.
King tits?
King Tuts had a pair of tits. I don't know.
But no, this is an epic breakup song. So if we ever do a list of breakup songs, the song
That's
has to
got to
be
be
on.
on there. I'm Casey Miller.
I'm gay.
I do believe that Casey Miller is an asshole.
That's excellent. You lived down here long enough.
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard.
That's
I
good.
do declare, Mr.
You need to get
Oh,
doing
an
that
asshole.
yourself.
I need a what?
You need to do more of that. That's excellent. You got all kinds of different.
I don't know if I can do more, best friend.
You don't think
I
so?
don't think so. I'm not an educated lady like that.
She typed like
And you're gonna have a mint julep and sip it on the porch, on the veranda. I'm sorry.
Well, then I do believe that I will partake in a mint julep on the veranda.
That's right. What was it?
and watch the pool, man.
I might just watch that pool, man. The track listing is beim ersten Mal zusammen.
Oh, that's the tits.
Yes, the king head tits. Labyrinth,
It's all my fault.
Sex with Tifa.
Sex with teeth?
Sex with Tifa.
Sex with teeth. Don't bite my dick or shave my carrot. I just want you to have me. Just a little nibble will do. Don't bite it all.
Nibble my pickle.
But no, this is the song where the interview that I was watching mentioned that this included a typical Led Zeppelin drum intro. And what I thought was awesome
That's the song
was yes. What I thought was awesome was when I played the song. Fred, who was a huge, his radio name was Fred Zeppelin, for Christ's sakes. He's a huge Led Zeppelin fan.
Yeah.
Actually, I thought you
really caught it. You were like,
Lead Zeppelin.
oh my god, that is.
And I even guessed the drum intro before you played it.
What was it?
When the levee breaks, their use of that was interesting, and they didn't sample it. I don't. Did you say they sampled it? Because it sounds like he just played it.
No, they didn't. From my understanding, it was not sampled. It was
He
an
played it.
oomph version of a Led Zeppelin drum beat.
Yeah, drum intro. Yeah, because that's what I was like. No, I know they couldn't have sampled it.
No.
Anyway, when you hear it, you'll see what the similarity is.
The other interesting thing about the song in particular is it really does build. So it starts off like with the simplistic drum beat, and then they just keep adding to it and adding to it and adding to it
masquerading.
until
And
the culmination at the end.
Until it culminates at the end.
But that's very Zeppelin-esque as well. So they were not only doing the drum beat, but they were doing what they would classically do, like if you listen to Stairway, that starts off mellow and ends up, and has all kinds of rhythm and chord changes, which that song that you're talking about does, and it's interesting.
But anyway, I want to bring up about this song. Now, the English version is True Beauty is So Painful. The only reason why I want to bring it up, yes.
Wait.
Yeah, you don't know the words, do you?
No, I do. The price we pay is shameful, my dear. Don't you know?
The only reason why I want to bring it up
The
is
surface cuts like Mountain View.
all the guys are
living
not
room.
going to even acknowledge this tonight.
I'm listening.
But no, growing up,
Oh, look at me.
my mother would constantly tell me,
You
you
want
have
to.
to suffer to be beautiful.
I've
So
heard
that's
that.
exactly that's the only thing I could think of when I heard the song. I was like, yeah, sucks.
I've heard that phrase before.
You have to suffer to be beautiful?
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, I mean, fuck that
Is
one.
some schluss.
Yes, thank you.
There's some
This
sluts. Is that the
That's-
English translation? There's some sluts.
That's one of my more favorite songs, dude. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but
It's some schluss.
one of the lines in there is "Come lick my wounds." Yeah.
This it features
And they're right here.
an up-and-coming female singer called Mina Haka,
I mean, hot.
which is, yes, it is the same name as the character from Bram Stoker's Dracula. I've been meaning to grab her album, I just haven't had a chance to do so. She does backing vocals for the song, and I think it's a really nice song. What I thought was really cool was if you look on Mina Haka's album, Diablo actually, I don't remember if I wrote down which song it was.
I'll see what she looks like.
It's actually Bissum Toad, which is interesting because Bissum Schluss is the song that she guest appeared on, and then he guest appeared on her song called Bissum Toad.
How do you spell her name?
With some toast.
M-I-N-A.
M-I-N-A.
Yeah.
Harker, Harker. Are you doing that fucking bullshit where you look up and see how pretty you think they are, and then that determines whether or not you think that they're actually musically capable?
No.
Yes.
That fucking shallow.
I actually like the remixes better.
I bet you do, you cocksucker.
That was uncalled for.
It was. Giselle, fun fact, when I took my intro to burlesque, classical burlesque dancing, I took a class for intro classical burlesque. And
Really?
we had a performance, and the song that I performed to was the song. Now, I
I
got
don't
away
think
with
he's
it.
been hard like this in over a decade.
Like, he's very interested in this.
Holy fuck bags back there.
And then the last track for the album is Brick House.
Brick house.
She's Brick House.
She's a brick.
Bam. Ow.
She's
my
day.
She's a brick house.
whoa.
Be like Amazon. Give it to me now. Yeah.
Now, I have to say, we've discussed how the record company.
She's so distracted by the brick house.
I didn't expect a full
James had good
chorus.
cutters. They're pretty nice.
Yeah! She's a brick house. Well, yeah! She's smashing my hair!
The track-by-track interview that I was watching with the band, they mentioned that each member has their... Oh, God, this is going to go badly. I can just feel it.
Each member.
So each person in the band will oftentimes have their own, like, special field, I think was the way that it was translated.
Yeah.
The way that it would translate.
Right.
But basically they can do everything. So each person, while they have something specific that they work on each time, has the ability to do everything that is involved in the process.
Yeah.
From what I understand, the way that they, at least are with the last couple albums that they're making this, is each person goes on their own time, like by themselves. They basically compose for themselves. And then when they come up with, I guess, a certain amount of tracks or something, then they all meet together, and then they play for each other, and then it's a critique. And that's when they decide what stays, what gets thrown out, what needs to be worked on.
Well, that's an interesting collaboration.
Sounds very interesting to the recording of the White Album.
Oh, I was wondering why he looked at you, Fred.
No, he looked at me because,
Yeah, you said something like that. I looked at him to see how long it was going to take it would be crop before he started.
You jump from sausage fests and play for each other.
Yeah.
Come on.
But it sounds to me like these guys.
Is it fair to say she had?
I don't think that's White Album. I think these guys get together and collaborate in a way that those guys didn't on the White Album, because they were all basically in separate studios on that album, you know, because they didn't like each other by then, or they were pissed at each other for this or that or the other. You know, when you're stuck in a fishbowl with three other guys for years, and under that kind of microscope, it's surprising they lasted that long. But anyway, these guys sound like they were collaborating from the way you described it. They bring their piece, and then they sit down. Yeah.
They bring their piece out and just critique it.
That's right.
And I think that's maybe why when I was, I didn't understand because they didn't reference the way that the White Album was recorded directly, but they did make sure to mention a lot that they got along, that they're still getting along. It is a tough process to critique someone's work, no matter whether or not, but they knew that when they were receiving their critiques that it wasn't to be taken personally. It literally was just, you know, a critique about I wasn't saying anything bad about the person, it was just, you know, and that the person got upset, exactly. And if the person got upset, that it wasn't so much because they were taking it personally, but because, you know, they needed to let off steam, I think was how it translates. And that person should be allowed to do
let off steam.
So, I mean, I know just from visual art critiques, it's difficult to make something and then to put it out there and then have other people pick at it. So I find it so interesting that I know that they definitely did it on Monster. I believe that they had done it with Blah Believe the Toad as well, because they said that Walk Out actually was one of the songs when they did this critique, it was rejected. And then they you know, messed with it again, they brought it back, and then it ends up being the song for Alien vs. Predator 2 in Germany. That's kind of interesting. That it was a rejected song in Germany, not in the States.
That's crazy.
But in Germany, it was the main song that accompanied the movie over there. So the next single was the Sandman single. It's the second single that the band released where it wasn't associated with an accompanying album. The other single being, of course, there was a standard edition that had the song Sandman and then the side remix of the song. The limited edition had the song and the side remix, as well as Auf Kurs and Du Lux. It also included videos for Sandman, Auf Kurs, and Labyrinth. Jesus fucking Christ, what the fuck is wrong with you? From my understanding, the English best of, it was not for the old school fans. They were basically approached saying, you know, they would get contracts in other countries such as the States, Canada, Japan, on the terms that they would create an English best of. So it wasn't so much for the established fans, it was to get new fans in new countries because they were previously told that because they sung in German, they would not be allowed to have such contracts.
And I'm upset
Yeah, I know.
that sex is not on there.
I think there was also an issue with the previous record companies, so certain songs they didn't have the licensing to, or something weird like that, so they weren't actually legally.
Which I think sucks. If this is your creative
You
work,
should fucking own it. Yeah,
Exactly.
Don't even get me started on that. See, I'm not sure
I can't believe
the
this
specifics
imbecile's
for
got away with
why. I just know that there were issues with the previous record companies, so that certain songs, especially the older songs, could not be included on the English Best of. Now, I will admit that. So I haven't heard it all the way through. I'll admit, I haven't. Don't give me that look. I have to admit that it was very well done. The songs that I have heard, obviously a lot of time and effort put into it to make it sound as close to the German as possible. It's not a direct translation, but it certainly keeps the main ideas from.
it was a great
Better than Rammstein, I'll say that.
I was just about to get into Rammstein.
They're silly ass lyrics.
Yeah. This features Sharon Den
Stone.
Adel. Sharon Den Adel, I think is how you pronounce it. She was not in the original German version. Because I fucking saw the featuring and I was like, oh my god, I totally missed this for the German
What's her
song,
name?
whatever. And I went back and she actually wasn't on the German version. She's gorgeous.
What's your
We
name?
will be the judge of that.
I think she's gorgeous.
I don't need to take this kind of shit from you.
You think who's going?
Sharon, so just SHARON
Yeah.
space DEN. You're not even typing.
No, hang on a second.
Wait for it to show up. DEN.
Space ADEL. She is from the Dutch symphonic metal rock band called Within Temptation.
Which I actually have their stuff.
I was gonna say I'm not familiar with this stuff, but I recently realized that I do enjoy symphonic metal.
The subject of the subjects of today's show, I was listening to that, and I don't really like that form of music so much, but I can listen to them, and it's the way they do it, and it's like, wow, you can actually take a type of music that I'm not really into and make me listen to it.
Well, it's
It's fascinating because just tie it back real quick as you start talking about Oomph again. It's so interesting because you can really hear from even their first works to their present day works, and I discussed this in the first session that we recorded regarding their stuff. Is you can hear intelligent design, you can hear deliberation, as in I'm specifically putting this here because I want it to be there, not because somebody else is telling me I need to put it there.
Yes.
Because this is what I want to do.
Well, see,
And so it's this intelligence and precision within their music that is what I find so interesting.
Yeah, and what I
find it more interesting.
I bet you do.
And the other thing about that is why in this age when anybody can put up a website, especially an artist that's actually, generating X amount of income in order to be able to do so, why they don't put up their own website, sell their music through it, tell the record companies to go fuck themselves because they can put, like when you were talking about Oomph putting their stuff out the way they wanted it to be heard through their, why, it's like,
I'm just glad that they have their own studio.
well, yeah, but I mean, and it's like in the adult industry, they used to rely on the P word, and now with
Penis?
the other word is manager.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like managers up, escorts down. But anyway, so in that industry, you no longer need the manager because there's, the internet has exploded that.
You can be
completely
independent.
So why in the fuck don't musicians just directly market to their audience and say, hey, just like Radiohead did? I mean, but why don't they en masse do so? Tell the record companies to piss up a rope, go directly to the audience and go, here's our stuff.
That is a curious question. Is what in today's society where you have the internet, and you have these options. Certain
advertising.
Well, but you have to think of it. Certain computer programs that allow you to make music are more widely available.
Yeah.
So what is the function of the record company in today's present day society?
For bands like Oomph, not a whole lot, where they can play their own instruments and they probably can master their own stuff.
Yeah.
For other bands that are less talented, you know who you are. They require mastering and engineering and all that stuff.
Well, and also now that, for
I didn't
instance,
forget about you.
there's and I won't mention the brand name phone, but I know of software that you can create music just using your oral cavity, and it puts it through a synthesizer. You can go, and that's your drum beat, and there's your bass, and there's your guitar.
You're missing the fundamental point. To make good music.
But what is that? I mean, you know what? I've heard kids on the streets in DC with paint cans and sticks make stuff that I sit there and go, wow. I mean, it's all beat.
Percussion.
Yeah. But I mean, I listen to that and I'm like, damn, that's good shit. Or you take DC again, coming out of a metro stop, there's somebody with a guitar case open and he's sitting there playing the guitar. There was an elderly guy playing the blues. There was somebody playing bluegrass one day.
You're missing a fundamental point, though.
But I'm saying you don't need a whole lot of production.
Interruption.
Yeah, interruption.
Twice in a row.
But you don't need a whole lot of the equipment to make a good piece of music. So what? I'm sorry. What was your point?
Multi-kill.
You can have all the money in the world. You can
still
have all
sound
the
like
equipment
shit.
in the world. What you need to make good music is talent.
Right.
And there's not a lot of
combo
If everybody had equal amount of talent, all the music would sound the same. If you had everybody that had some spark of talent, there would be more competition than there is now. So you can only have one Pink Floyd, one Iron Maiden, one Who, one Led Zeppelin. If you had 10 Led Zeppelins, what would be the point?
Well, my question is with talented artists that have established themselves and have the means to make the music themselves and to release it themselves, where does the record company come in? If you are a talented musician with the means to make and publish and release your own music, why do you need a record company? What purpose do they serve?
The record company serves several purposes.
Being douchebags? Is that one?
Aside from that,
yeah,
it's for. I'm going to use the word Fred just loves to attack. It's a type of business.
I'm waiting for Fred to
At
leap off
the
the
end
couch.
of the day,
Waiting for Fred to just leap off the couch and just like
The
attack
bottom line
him.
is,
The two things that record companies provide for
core
record
values.
is a way to record their works, which includes distribution. But they're also responsible for the tours. The band does not do anything to set up a tour, to contact a town, to set up...
All that's true. So they have a purpose. They do have a purpose,
but they've lost sight of their purpose.
Thank you.
It's all about how much money can we make in the record studio and on tour, which is why a band doesn't make any money unless they go on tour.
Yeah. All right.
Ready to wrap this up?
All right, so that is it for now for Oomph.
Oomphinators.
We're going to have a recap show, I think is how we're doing these spotlight shows. We do a whole bunch of, and then we get some feedback, and then we kind of do a recap of feedback that we got from the past whatever. And I'm sure I forgot to mention a couple of things, so I'll have a little more
direct your hate mail to Giselle.
by then. Exactly.
She should
Email me at giselleNoir@bdrrocksonline.com so that I can ignore your email.
That's right.
But you need to reply to their email saying, I already ignored your email. Which means you obviously did not ignore it. So.
I'm ignoring your email, you dirty bastard!
But yeah, so we will have a recap show. I'll have more Tilly bits. At least by that point, the 11th album will be out, so we can talk about that if I don't find any more Tilly bits, because I'm a horrible stalker.
And
you're a porn stalker? Is that what I heard?
I'm a horrible stalker.
Oh, I heard porn stalker.
No.
I stole
She voted for Ron Jeremy.
So yes, I hope that. Yeah, well, I was gonna say I hope you enjoyed it, but then I realized I don't give a fuck.
A little typo negative coming out there.
I know you're fucking.
So yeah, right. Somebody want to take us out? Because I don't know how the fuck to do that shit.